Thank you. Sorry, I said.
Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So a couple of days ago, we stopped here. So we were looking at the abodes of the Supreme Lord, and we're starting with Golok, Vrindaban. And we were discussing how it's the topmost planet in the spiritual world. And that planet is so huge that it is bigger than all of the rest of the spiritual world and the material creation as well. So huge. So this is the verse where we were at, and we can continue. Anybody like to chant this verse? It goes like this. Chintamani pakarasatma sukalpa braksha laksha veteshu shurabira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasa satasambhrama sevamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
I'll have a go. Chintamani prakara satmasu kalpa vriksha laksha vratistu surabir abhipal palayantam Lakshmi sahasara sata sambarama sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Shall I read the translation?
You can, yeah.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by the hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis and Gopis. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Anybody else like to have a go? Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Chintamani prakara sadma shukalpa vriksha laksha vruteshu surabira abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra satshata sambharama sevaya manama Govindam adi purusham tam aham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desires, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Fantastic. Anybody else would like to have a go?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes.
Chintamani prakara satma shukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasrashata sambrahma sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis of Gopis.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so description of Golok. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find descriptions of Lord Krishna's eternal home, such as this one. Golok is always full of cows. There are many waterfalls. There are always pouring water, and the sound is so sweet that it covers the sound of the crickets. Because water flows all over, the forest looks always very green and beautiful. The inhabitants of Vrindavan are never disturbed by the scorching heat of the sun or high summer temperatures. The lakes of Vrindavan are surrounded by green grasses and various kinds of lotus flowers bloom there. The air blowing in Vrindavan carries the aromatic pollen of those lotus flowers. When the particles of water from the waves of the Yamuna river, the lakes and the waterfalls touch the bodies of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they automatically feel a cooling effect. Vrindavan is such a nice place. Flowers are always blooming, and there are various kinds of decorated deer. Birds are chirping, peacocks are crowing and dancing, and bees are humming. The cuckoos there sing nicely in 5 kinds of tunes.
Krishna, the reservoir of pleasure, blowing his flute, accompanied by his elder brother Balaram, and the other cowherd boys and the cows, enters the beautiful forest of Vrindavan to enjoy the atmosphere. They walk into the midst of the newly grown leaves of trees, whose flowers resembled peacock feathers. They're garlanded by those flowers and decorated with saffron chalk. Sometimes they're dancing and singing, sometimes wrestling with one another. While Krishna dances, some of the cowherd boys sing, the others play on flutes. Some bugle on buffalo horns or clap their hands, praising Krishna. Dear brother, you're dancing very nicely. Every step is a dance and the word is a song.
This is also in the Bhagavatam. So this is a good, fantastic picture, really. I don't know whoever's painted this. It just gives such a fantastic mood of the spiritual kingdom. Beautiful waterfalls and green grass.
Krishna's gopis, Krishna,
Yeah,
Radha, Gopas.
yeah, it's a gopis and Krishna there, and covered with chintamani, gemstones, kalpavriksha trees, gomatas. All right, so this is Brahma Samhita 5.2. You want to do this?
Sahasrapatra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahapadam Tatkarnikaram Tattama Tat Anantam Sasambhavam. Translation: the spiritual place of transcendental pastimes of Krishna is portrayed in the second verse. The super excellent station of Krishna, which is known as Gokul, has thousands of petals and is under coral like that of a lotus sprouted from a part of his infinitary aspect, the whole of the leaves being the actual abode of Krishna.
So yesterday, day before yesterday, we looked at Brahma Samhita 5.1. Anybody remember what that one is? Number one, first text of 5th chapter.
I think
How
it's
does it start?
Govinda Adim Puru. First line, first word, what is it, Prabhuji? The first word?
Ishvara.
Huh?
Ishvara,
Ishvara,
Parama,
Ishvara Paramam,
Krishna,
Ishvara Paramam Krishna,
Satchit.
Ananda Vigraha, Govinda Adi Purusham,
Yeah.
Sarva Karana Karana.
That's it. That's the one.
It's here and there.
Yeah. So Krishna is the cause of all causes. And this is number 2 now. So, and it talks about these petals that we talked about a couple of days ago. And then this is the 3rd verse. Maybe Karuna, would you like to do this one? You taught us this one.
Yes, Prabhu. Karnikaram mahadyantram shatkonam vajrakilakam saddanga shatparisthanam prakritya purushena cha premananda mahananda rasanavasthitam hiyat jyotirupena manona kamabijena sangatam. The whole of that transcendental lotus is the realm wherein dwells Krishna. It is a hexagonal figure, the abode of the indwelling predominated and predominating aspect of the Absolute. Like a diamond, the central supporting figure of self-luminous Krishna stands as the transcendental source of all potencies. The holy name, consisting of the 18 transcendental letters, is manifested in a hexagonal figure with 6-fold divisions.
So this is describing the innermost part of Goloka. And so in the Brahma Samhita, this detail is given by Lord Brahma himself, because he's been there. Krishna has shown him the lotus, the Goloka, and the lotus petal from which wherein he resides. So let's have a look at this. the roll, that's the center of the lotus, hexagonal figure, 18 transcendental letters, and the sixfold divisions. So this is the lotus, and we can go a little bit closer. We'll see hexagon, and we will see this hexagon here. It's also known as the yantra. This is the mantra, the 18 lettered syllables, 18 syllables of, it's the Gayatri mantra, one of the Gayatri mantras. We've got the 6 divisions, which is, these must be the divisions, right?
Mhm.
And there's Radha and Krishna in the middle, surrounded by the Astasakhis first. And on this side, we see Gaura Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And on this side, Radha Krishna. So Gaura Leela is very integral part of Goloka. It's side by side, very close. And this is the yantra. So this is like a typical yantra, which often we'll see on the altar sometimes, or we'll see it displayed in very common now in the West. Actually, the yantra signifies the spiritual world. Significance of yantra: hexagonal figure with 6-fold divisions. It's a mystical diagram to embody the mantra of the presiding deity. So different yantras can actually represent different deities. It's a 2-dimensional picture of the spiritual world. So that's because it's drawn. And usually it's on the Hare Krishna temples, it's on the Nishinga altar. You will see these a lot, the yantras. There are 6 divisions as a result of the 2 triangles. And the Gopal Gayatri mantra is manifest. Gayatam trayate yasmat gayatri tvam tatha smita. One who chants the Gayatri mantra is gradually delivered from the material clutches. In other words, that which delivers one from material entanglement is called Gayatri. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 8:138. No pictures are required for yantra to be worshipped, because the yantra itself represents Supreme Lord. When we do yagyas, yantras are often drawn in the kund, so that his abode is present. So this is very interesting. So any questions on this? This is really quite a fascinating part of Sanatana Dharma, which we don't really look at in much detail, but it's really fascinating. So this yantra, especially this Krishna yantra, represents Goloka, and it represents Krishna himself.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
so this is the yantra that we draw in the Havan Kund, the
Yeah.
different
Yes.
type of triangles together.
2 triangles, because we want to establish the residence of the Lord in the
So
yajna.
it's drawn inside the Havan Kund where
Yeah.
there will be the
The
wood
fire.
and the fire. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't actually do this yantra. I do the
5 rivers.
The rivers, yeah. But because that's what Guru Maharaj taught us to do, so this is what we do. But I've seen often this yantra has been done, not just in the kund, but also the whole yagya is decorated like that. Not just in the kund as well, but outside of the kund as well. I've seen many devotees decorate with this yantra. Okay, so the next text, number 4, 5-4.
Tat kinjalam kat amshanam tat patrani shriyam api Translation: the role of the eternal realm Gokul is hexagonal abode of Krishna. Its petals are the abodes of gopis who are part and parcel of Krishna, to whom they are most lovingly devoted and are similar in essence. The petals shine beautifully like so many walls. The extended leaves of that lotus are the garden-like dham, i.e. the spiritual abode of Sri Radhika, the most beloved of Krishna.
Very interesting, Brahma Samhita, number 4. Here is giving a bit more detail. The petals are the abodes of the gopis, who are part and parcel of Krishna. So they're very much not different from Krishna, actually. Part of his internal energy. So just like we can't become Krishna, we can't become the gopis, because it's non-different from Krishna, practically speaking. So very interesting how Lord Brahma is explaining the position of the gopis and how they reside within the role of the lotus flower. So here are the gopis. We have Lalita, Vishaka, Sudevi, Induleka, Champaklata, Rangadevi, Tungavidya. Oh, Sudevi is there. Suchitra. Who's Suchitra? Then that must be Chitra. Yeah, Chitra Devi. Chitra, yeah, Chitra Devi. Very good. And here we have in a beautiful temple in Mayapur, this Radha Madhav, Lalita Vishaka next to him. And then on this side, Induleka, Rangadevi, Sudevi, Champaklata, Chitra, and Tungavidya. Oh, so where's Tungavidya in this? Hang on. Did we say Tungavidya?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tungavidya is there. Yeah. Okay. Very good. The associates of Radha are called gopis, sakhis, and their assistants are called manjaris. The sakhis' affection for Radha and Krishna is so pure that they are simply satisfied when they are united. Although the sakhis do not expect any personal attention from Krishna, Radha is so pleased with them that she arranges individual union between Krishna and them. So that's the sakhis. And then the assistants of the sakhis are the manjaris. The manjaris, being very young girls, do not have direct contact with Krishna. And their love, their prema, is aroused only upon seeing Radha and Krishna together. So if they see Krishna alone, they'd run away. Because they're dedicated actually to Srimati Radharani. On the other hand, since Radha and the Sakhi gopis have direct contact with Krishna's body, so the kind of prem they feel is aroused only when they are in Vipralamba. So Vipralamba is separation, right? It's a mood of separation, isn't it? Vipralamba. So when they're separated, that intensity of love grows. The glory of the manjaris are that they are granted to witness the various loving exchanges of the divine couple in their private quarters, allowing them to do many services in that secret affair. And why is that? So even the sakhis are not allowed entrance into this very private secret place. Why? Because Radha and Krishna are not embarrassed in front of the manjaris, because they're young. They're very young girls and very innocent.
And I also heard in a lecture that Radharani, when she eats something like beetle pan or something, if she gives it to the manjaris as prasad, but she'll never give it to her sakhis. So the manjaris are more fortunate than the sakhis actually, because they get the direct prasad from Radharani.
Interesting. And our line is actually of the manjaris. I think most of the gurus in this parampara are manjaris, starting with the 6 Goswamis. And if we look here, we'll see, if we look closely, we'll see Radha and Krishna is having, having transcendental relationship there. And in the background, we'll just about make out there's some gopi, manjaris. Let's just see their face here.
Let's do that.
There's 2 here. 1, 2.
There's 5.
Where? He has 5. Maybe there's more. I'm sure there's more drawn in. So here, we just have a close look at this picture. You see there a couple here. Just make them out. And here the manjaris.
There seems to be some tears in Radharani's eyes, maybe tears
Yeah.
of joy.
Tears of joy. Yes, Krishna's teasing her, no doubt. Or she's teasing him, one of the two.
I never saw manjaris before. Thanks for pointing that out, Prabhuji.
No, it's okay. We didn't see them either until recently. No, a few years back. Yeah, quite interesting. Very, very interesting. So this is considered the Manjari Bhav is considered the highest love of Godhead. Nothing higher than that. Even higher than that of the gopis. And here they are. If we look at here, Guna Manjari, Vilas Manjari, Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari is regarded to be the leader of all the Manjaris. And Rupa Manjari came as Rupa Goswami, as part of the 6 Goswamis. Rati Manjari, I think that's Raghunath Das Goswami. Lavanga Manjari, Manjulali Manjari, Raga Manjari, Kastini, or maybe Kasturi. Yeah, Manjari. And that is Krishnadas Kaviraj. Oh, sorry. So it's Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Sanatana Goswami is Lavanga Manjari. Lokanath Goswami is Manjulali Goswami. Raga Manjari is Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj is Kasturi Manjari. Gopal Bhatt Goswami is Gun Manjari. Jiva Goswami is Vilas Manjari. Very interesting. So this is, all these gurus are very powerful gurus. And actually we try to seek through the Guru Parampara, their blessings to understand some of these wonderful leelas, pastimes, so we can become attracted to the Supreme. So what are the divisions of Golok? Okay, it's often called Krishna Lok, and in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's described, there are 3 divisions, Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokul. So here we go again, Gokul, Golok. It's a little confusing, they're interchangeable. So this is the verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita which gives that point.
Tahare upari bhage Krishna loka kyati Dwarka Mathura Gokula Trividvate Sthiti. Translation: in the highest region of the spiritual sky is the spiritual planet called Krishna Lok. It has 3 divisions, Dwarka, Mathura, and Gokul. It's from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 5, verse 60.
And these are very authoritative scriptures. So we looked at Brahma Samhita, now we're looking at Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also we looked at a little bit of the Bhagavatam. So this information is, as far as we're concerned, completely genuine. Yeah. What was it?
Bona fide.
Bona fide. Yeah, that's right. That's the right word. Then Sanatana Goswami in the Bhagavad Amrita, as well as the Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Navadvip Dham Mahatmya, states there are 2 more abodes. In addition to Dwarka, Mathura, Gokul, there's Dwarka and there's Navadvip. I'm sorry, there's Puri, Jagannath Puri, and Navadvip. So there are 5 divisions. And then there's also Shwetadvip, which is the ocean of milk, which surrounds Golok. And that milk comes from, that ocean is white because the milk is white from Golok's Surabhi cows. So who are Sanatana Goswami and Bhaktivinoda Thakur to be able to inform us of these 2 additional divisions of Golok? And so much detail the Acharyas are able to give. They're actually part of the spiritual kingdom. So Sanatana Goswami, we said, is one of the Manjaris, as is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He himself describes his position in his bhajans. So divisions of Golok. This is in color, it's color coded. Dwarka, and then there's Mathura, and then Golok.
Gokul.
Gokul, indeed, Gokul. Now, gradations. This Jagannath Puri is higher, regarded higher than Dwarka, because the mood is that of Braj, separation from Radha. And this is where Jagannath Puri is. And Navadvip, it's regarded, is on the same level as Golok, because Gora is Krishna himself. So this is very, very interesting, how all 5 divisions of the spiritual world are there. And their different gradations as well. Why is Dwarka considered to be? Because here outside, it's probably the least in terms of gradations, because there the Lord is like a king. He's worshipped like a king. And in Mathura, he was worshipped as a Kshatriya, as a great ruler, as a warrior. But in Puri, he had no such worship, right? His mood, he was worshipped in the mood of Braj. And Navadvip is worshipped as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none different from Krishna. In Golok, he's worshipped as little baby Krishna, or Krishna with Radha and Krishna together. This is considered to be the highest. So the different rasas, Madhurya Ras in Golok is prominent, as is Vatsalya, as is Sakhya Ras. Not so much Dasya Ras and Santaras. They're on the outer petals. The inner petal is always Madhurya, and then Vatsalya, Sakhya, friendship, servitude, and then neutrality. So I'm just looking at those 5 divisions of the rasas: Madhurya Ras, Vatsalya Ras. You can see the pictures: baby Krishna, Sakhya Ras, friendship, and then Dasya Ras. Whoa, okay, what's the time? So, okay, so yes, can we continue hopefully tomorrow? We should be able to continue tomorrow with this verse, 5.5. Thank you. Any questions? Any comments?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
yes, the sort of like a petals-like form of the Goloka Vrindaban. I didn't think that was in the reality, it was like that, but from this Brahma Samhita, that proves that it is really like that. I thought it was just depicted in the sort of things that were done by ISKCON for the Golok chart, but this is real, isn't it?
Yeah, this is how the spiritual world is actually described.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Yeah.
But what it is with the spiritual world, it can manifest itself as the Lord likes, as the Lord Balaram wishes to manifest it to please the Supreme Lord Krishna. So yes, it's manifest as a lotus, but it doesn't have to be. When they're performing their pastimes, the lotus opens up. So it's just open. But when it's appropriate for the lotus to be closed and open, that's when Krishna and Balaram, they organize it in such a way. But this is how Lord Brahma describes the spiritual world. Yeah, and the lotus is regarded very beautiful, right? Like lotus-eyed Lord. He's got lotus mouth. He's got lotus-like hands, lotus feet. His lotus is regarded as the topmost sort of flower manifestation. So, yeah.
And what are the outer petals outside the manjaris? What do they constitute?
Yes. That's right.
We may have to come to them later on. That's fine then.
No, I think that's probably, I think we're covering it here. So Manjari is that's Madhurya Ras. And then the next one is going to be Vatsalya, i.e. Yashoda Mai and
Damoda Leela, things like that. Devki. No, so not the Devki, so that's Mathura.
Yeah. It's the elderly gopis,
Yeah.
how they deal with Krishna. So from Madhurya to Vatsalya, and then Sakyaras, the friendships that Krishna has with the gopas. And then there will be Dasyaras. So that's how those are also graded according to the level of the intensity of the bhakti with Krishna.
Thanks, Prabhuji.
No, it's okay. And even within Vatsalya, there's so many different gradations. Some devotees act as his nurse, some act as his well-wisher. Some act as his opposing him, like Jatila, the mother-in-law of mother-in-law of Radharani. And even within Sakyaras, there's so many, like Madhu Mangal has such a close, fun relationship with Krishna, as does Sridhar and so many others. But others may not have such close relation. It's unlimited. And the spiritual world is so huge. Just Goloka itself is bigger than everything else put together. So one can only imagine the different variety of interactions that take place in this transcendental abode. Unimaginable, actually. We haven't got a clue. And yeah, now we'll look at a little bit more detail of Shwetadweep and the other places, and also have a look at where these personalities reside in the spiritual kingdom. So we'll try to do that tomorrow, or hopefully devotees can join. So, anybody else? Anything else?
No, Prabhuji, that's fine. I may have to leave in the next 2 minutes to go out.
Okay.
Aarti, okay? Okay,
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Golok Dham ki jai.